I was talking with a coaching client this morning just about some of different goals he's working on, but one of the conversations we had got me thinking about an event that happened in my life. And I wonder if you can relate to this type of story, not the exact story, but something similar. Back in my corporate training days, I was flying out west a lot to do some training, and I would have to leave very early in the morning at the beginning of the week to get out there, do the training for a few days, head back. And on this one particular morning, it was like maybe 5:30 a.m., still dark, snow flying everywhere and slush and salt all over the place. And of course, right before I get to the airport, 20 minutes away, I blow a tire and I have to pull over in the express lanes of this highway, so there's no real shoulder to pull over on. There's a small little area you can just get off to the side. And here I am, trying to catch a flight. No way am I changing a tire on the side of this crazy half shoulder thing that I'm on. And so I'm immediately in this back against the wall situation, like what am I going to do here? How am I going to catch my flight and deal with my car and all that? And so eventually what happened was I just made decision after decision. So first decision, okay, first thing is I got to get to the airport. I don't even care about my car right now. I got to get to the airport so I don't miss the train. Call a cab. Next thing is, okay, I've got this cab coming. How am I going to deal with my car? Call a tow truck company. And then call a shop as well. So you start going through all the different steps. So the cab eventually comes and gets me. I fire my stuff in the cab, start going to the airport, leave my keys in the car because I don't know how else to get it to the tow truck driver and to the shop and so on. So I just made that decision and was able to make a few more calls from the cab and at the airport. And eventually it all got sorted out so that the car would be worked on while I was out west doing my training. But 15 minutes before the tire blew up, I wouldn't have been able to tell you how I was going to get out of a predicament like that. I couldn't have written you a guide, a 10-step guide as to how to do that. But the point is, we all face situations in our life where it's sort of this back against the wall mode. You got to figure it out, and you've only got a couple minutes to pull it off. And we're always so resourceful in those situations. Whether it turns out exactly the way we want it to or not, we just take action. We don't think about anything, we just go. And I know for sure you face this at some point in your life. We all have. The cool thing about it is observe what's happened to you as a person in those situations. You're probably a lot more resourceful than you even realize, and there's a lot more in you to get through things and to take certain kinds of actions that you didn't even think you were capable of doing. And my example is pretty minor to some of the stuff I've heard of people, amazing feats people were able to pull off without any preparation. But the key thing here is to realize that we all have this action-taking ability inside of us, and we're able to scale this up to magnitudes that we probably don't even realize. So knowing that about ourselves, and knowing that by default most of us procrastinate a lot of stuff. If you don't want to procrastinate and you want to see what you're made of, how can you create back against the wall situations to see what you can actually do? And the one thing I was talking about with my coaching client today was just getting things going and creating projects for yourself where you have a due date, and maybe it's just being held accountable to a coach is enough to get you going. But if you really want to scale it up, I remember for me, and from a business perspective, the very first professional workshop that I ran, I had known about it actually like a month in advance. I got booked and I sent the invoices and it was all sorted out. But here I was the night before I was doing the workshop up till 4 a.m. doing most of my notes again because I'd only taught this thing once before, and I was redoing the whole course, basically trying to make it as the best possible course I could the night before up till 4 a.m. Did I really need to put myself into that situation? No, but I did, and the point is that 24-hour period before delivering the training is when I was the most productive. And so knowing that about myself, I now can create scenarios where I know I'm going to have to be that productive. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll set a goal and give myself a ridiculously difficult deadline, knowing that I'm going to have to at least try to pull some of this stuff off. What can you do in your life right now, based on some of the goals you're working on, to create that sense of urgency? Is it going on a blog and publicly declaring that you're going to achieve X, Y, Z between now and next Tuesday? Is it maybe joining a group where everybody is working on something? Maybe it's like 5 of you working on a project. All 5 of you have your own deliverables, and by the time you meet next Monday, if you're not done, you're going to be the only person holding up this group from achieving their project. Sometimes that's enough pressure to keep you going. But the thing is, you can create environments of urgency so that you can actually see what you're made of. And the more you're willing to do that, I think the more you are going to achieve in your life, because you're not giving yourself a chance to procrastinate, you're not giving yourself an easy out. And so I challenge you right now to look for situations in your life where you can challenge yourself and force yourself into action. And I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you thought.